right, guys, what's going on? It's Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with Sara Collins. Sara, how we doing?
Good. Can't complain.
All right. No, Sara, you got a fight coming up in June against Elena. Talk to us a little bit about that fight.
Yep. So in June, back in Dublin, fighting Elena. She's another southpaw, so I think it'll be an interesting fight. I haven't fought a southpaw before, so I'm excited to see how I go.
Nice, nice. Now, obviously, the last time she was out there, she was kind of in and out of a 14-second finish. Do you think that maybe gives you a little bit extra confidence going in there?
No, she fought a striker last time, and I'm a grappler, so I think it'll be a little bit different.
Nice, nice. Now, with this matchup as well, too, what are you maybe doing in your fight camps to maybe get ready?
Just been focusing a lot on fitness, getting really strong and fit so I can go in there if I need to last the 15 minutes, I can and push the pace.
Nice, nice. Now, what is maybe your favorite part about fight camp in general?
My favorite part, um, getting fit, healthy, strong, skinny.
Nice. There you go. There you go. Now, you're undefeated. You're 5-0. What do you think maybe another win would do for your career here?
Another win would be great. I'm hoping to slowly climb the rankings in Bellator and one day fight for that belt. That's the goal.
Nice. No, that would definitely be fantastic. And, another thing I always hear from you from previous interviews is you always want to fight Cat Zingano. What's up with Cat Zingano? Why do you want to fight her?
Oh, I just think it'll be fun. She's a big name, and yeah, I just think I just like that fight. I think it's cool. I think it's exciting for myself. So, yeah, that's just something that I think would be fun.
Is there just something in her in her game that maybe that stands out to you? It's like, yeah, I really want Cat Zingano, or just because she's a legend?
Not just because she's a legend.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, with you fighting Aletta, do you think this is maybe going to be your toughest matchup you've had so far in your career, or no?
I don't know. I haven't watched many of her fights, so I'm not sure. I think every next fight is your toughest fight. So I think it will be tough, but I don't think she'll be as tough as Sinead was.
Nice. Now, speaking about not watching fights, you don't even like to watch your own fights because you think it's cringy. Is that still the case?
Yeah, I don't like to watch it. I was at a friend's house not long ago, and they made me sit down and watch my last fight, and I hated every second of it. So yeah, no, I don't like that.
That's literally what I was going to ask you next. Like, does your coach force you at all to try to watch your fights, or even like a highlight or something?
No, they don't force me. They don't. I don't like it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, with that being said, with you training in the gym, who are maybe some of the favorite people that you like to train with?
Who I like to train with. I have heaps of the boys at the moment are helping me get ready. They're all fighting southpaw for me, which is great. So shout out to Rose, Cam, Pete, all the boys for helping me get ready.
Very nice. Now, with you training in the gym, obviously you're there all the time to get ready for your fights and just training to get fit and everything. What's maybe like some of the funniest moments you might have had in the gym?
Oh, that's a hard one to think off the top of your head. Funny moments. No, we take training very seriously. Nothing's funny.
Fair enough. Fair enough. One thing all the time.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But no, we have fun. We dance in between rounds, and yeah, the whole thing's fun.
So you're dancing in between rounds, huh? So if you get a victory win, are you gonna be dancing after the fight?
Probably not. No one wants to see that.
That's awesome. Well, with that being said, too, obviously you're in Bellator. How do you like fighting for Bellator? And what's maybe some cool things about Bellator maybe a fan might not know about?
Yeah, Bellator's been awesome to me so far. They have paid well. They treat me really well. The communication's great. They have changed now to being owned by PFL, so surely things will run a bit differently. But the crew the old crew from Bellator were great. It was so good to every time you saw them, they knew your name. They were so kind. They were friendly. That's probably the best thing about the Bellator team is everyone's awesome.
Nice, nice. Now, with you mentioning earlier that obviously you want to be the champ one day. if you keep on winning and everything, do you think Bellator is going to be like your home long term, or maybe would you want to maybe shoot to the UFC one day?
Well, there's no featherweight in the UFC, so that's just not possible. Someone asked me the other day, could I go down to bantamweight, and I was like, there's no way. I already hate dieting down to featherweight, so I think Bellator is my home. I'm quite happy here, so yeah.
Good, good. That's fair enough then. Now, when it comes to just weight cutting in general, do you think weight cutting is maybe harder for the women compared to men?
Well, I am not a guy, so I can't say, but my dietitian always tells me it's harder for girls than it is for boys.
Now, why is that? Like, why would it maybe be harder for the women compared to the men?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I have no idea.
Yeah, right, right. That makes sense. Now, you were fighting not too long ago against that Ireland crowd. How were you able to deal with such a rowdy crowd?
Well, last time they booed me because I was fighting Sinead. So this time I'm hoping they're on my side and they can boo Arlene instead because she's fighting Sinead. And the Irish crowd will hopefully cheer for me this time.
Yeah, no, that would definitely be nice. And another thing too, you have two finishes by or you have an arm lock submission, and you have one in your scarf hold submission as well too. Talk to us a little bit more about those submissions. Were they just something you saw like in the fight, or is that something you were typically training for in the gym?
Well, no, so I don't train purposely for that scarf hold submission. My coach always gets mad at me when I do it just because it's kind of like I get stuck there if I do end up in that position. So I try not to do it, but sometimes it just happens and I end up there. But yeah, I do grapple a lot. I've been grappling my whole life. So when the opportunity comes, I try and take the submission.
Nice, nice. That definitely makes sense. Now, in your Bellator debut, another thing I heard you mention is, you were on the flight and you lost some of your baggage and stuff. Did you lose anything important? And like, what was going through your mind when that happened too?
No, well, we didn't lose anything important. We ended up getting our bags, I think, the day before the fight. So we did end up with everything. And I had my fight kit clothes and my mouth guard with me. So I was able to fight if I needed to. But it was annoying. That whole trip for my first Bellator fight, everything just seemed to go wrong. Like we missed our connecting flight. We all our baggage got lost. But yeah, everything worked out in the end.
Well, that's good. That's good. I heard you did
I was
mention too
hitting,
that you did. Was that?
I was hitting pads all week with like no gloves and no pads, just like bare fist pads all week.
That's insane. Now, another thing you mentioned too, you were doing a little bit of shopping, obviously, when that happened. Did you get anything cool?
I bought some clothes, just like the usual stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, when you're getting ready for your fights, maybe like before you get ready to walk out, there's like a lot of fighters that like to hit the mitts, maybe listen to music, all that kind of jazz. What do you like to do before you go out there?
I like to hit pads. I do quite a long warm up, like almost an hour. Just because my body does feel quite old and it takes me a little while to get into the swing of things. So yeah, quite a long warm up of mainly stand up work.
Nice, nice. Now, what do you think is maybe the most important trait to have for fighting?
Heart. You got to have heart. You got to want to win. Doesn't matter how much skill you have. If you're not in there ready to do everything or prepared to do everything that you can to win, then you're not going to win.
Right, right. That definitely makes sense. And when you first started training, was there any maybe fighters or coaches that maybe took you under their wing right away?
Yeah. So my judo coach Daniel Kelly, who was in the UFC, we were at breakfast one day, just the two of us, and I was like, I had just finished judo at the time, and I was like, oh, I might want to have an MMA fight. And then since that moment, he took me right under his wing and pretty much navigated my whole career.
That's awesome. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Daniel Kelly. Yeah, that's definitely awesome. He's the man. And with that being said, too, you mentioned a little bit about weight cutting and stuff, maybe being harder for women and stuff. Do you think it's like it's easy for you to do weight cutting in general, or is it tough sometimes?
It's definitely not easy for me. My whole judo career, I fought at lightweight at 70 kilos. So the extra 4 kilos going down to featherweight does make it a little harder. And I feel like the older I get, the harder it gets. But you just got to do it.
Right, right. Now, obviously, you mentioned a little bit more about judo. Did you happen to do any like pure judo competitions or anything like that back in the days?
Yeah, so I did just judo from the age of 16 to 24. And it was good. I got to travel the world doing judo competitions everywhere. About 12 international competitions a year. So yeah, that was good. Just very expensive and you don't make any money from judo. So it's quite hard and a lot of injuries.
Now, when it comes to just like a judo competition in general, like give me like a breakdown of kind of like how they work for maybe someone that's never watched a judo match.
So like the whole day.
Yeah, I guess like the day, what to kind of expect when you're competing. Just I'm just curious of just kind of how it goes.
Yeah, so you weigh in the night before, and then the next day you have to be within 5% of your weight category, and you can get randomly weight checked. And then you see the draw for the fight normally comes out the day before, so you'll see who your opponent is and who you could possibly have second, third, fourth if you keep winning. And then you have your first fight. If you win, then you go on to your next one and your next one until you lose or until you win the gold medal.
Wow, wow, that's pretty interesting. And what are maybe some things that maybe a fan might not know about you, Sarah?
Someone doesn't know about me. But I'm really, really good at finding four-leaf clovers.
Four-leaf clovers. Okay,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
it's a secret talent. I don't know, when I'm walking my dogs.
That's awesome. That's definitely an interesting one. I wouldn't have thought of that one. And when it comes to just like training in general, what is maybe your favorite part about training, and maybe what is also the hardest part about training as well too?
My favorite part about training is probably sparring. Just the fun part where you get to put all your skills together. And I think the hardest part is pads with my coach. He is the killer on pads.
Very nice, very nice. Now, when it comes to sparring, how do you maybe focus on like your control? Like when there's people that are brand new to sparring, control can maybe be like a big issue for some people. How do you kind of get good at doing that?
Yeah, sometimes I have issues with control. You can ask all my training partners, but I hit them hard, they hit me back hard, so no one has control. We just have fun.
Right, right. No, that definitely makes sense. And when it comes to just like grappling in general, was there maybe a certain technique in the gym when maybe you were first learning it? It took you like a really hard time to master it.
Everything. I feel like grappling is one of the hardest sports to learn. So there's still lots of things that I struggle with, leg locks, all that fancy jujitsu stuff. I still am struggling to wrap my head around.
Now, do you happen to have a favorite submission you like to pull off in the gym?
Um, yeah, I don't mind an anaconda or two.
Yeah, kinda. That's a good one. That's definitely a
Yeah.
fun one. One thing I always like to ask every fighter I bring on the show. I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I've been teaching for 6 years and training for just 19 years now. I love what I do, and it's just a lot of fun. And with that being said, for all the guys I have in my gym, what advice would you give to those guys that are coming into the gym and trying to get better and better every single day?
Right, you just got to keep turning up. That's the hardest part is turning up. Once you're there, you'll get through the session. But yeah, you just got to keep turning up.
Yeah, yeah, 1000%. I believe consistency is definitely key. And Sarah, it's been fantastic talking to you. And Sarah, what's maybe a final message out there for the fans that are going to be watching this video?
Um, Tune in to watch me fight in Dublin again on June 22nd. My sixth pro fight, so it should be exciting.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it, Sarah. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to do that. And we're looking forward to that fight coming up in June.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.